gosh, really? Come on, Justin. Just start the video. Justin! Justin! Justin!
What?
What are you doing?
Making some heat. It's the sun.
No, just do the video. You're wasting time. Come on.
What's up, Fragrant World, and welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. Today we got an honest update. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos. I decided I wanted to be honest with you guys yet again. If you don't know what honest updates are, basically as fragrance reviewers we make these top seasonal lists, fragrances that we presume or that we plan on wearing for the upcoming season. So I made a top 10 list for the summer. I made one for niche and for designer. You can check at least one of them out up here, and maybe they'll both be up here at some point. And basically what I wanted to do is go and recount how much I've worn the fragrances that I said I would wear, which fragrances that I actually wear. I'm not going to be directly comparing to the previous list that I made. I'm just going to tell you what I've been wearing, how much I've worn each fragrance, and we'll go from there. So the time frame that I'm looking at is from the beginning of this past May 2019 up until now, which is about halfway through the month of August 2019. So we're looking at about a 3-month span. And so none of this will really dictate how much I've worn these fragrances for the entirety of the year, which will come at the end of the year. I'd like to do that video. That'll be coming up probably, December or January, to see what fragrances I wore the most for the year. But for now, this is just 3 months, so this is kind of a snapshot. And in these past 3 months, I will say that I've only worn Creed Aventus 3 times. So I have been wearing it here and there, but I'm sticking true to my journey of wearing it less, and therefore it's not in this list. So let's jump in at number 10. I wore this fragrance 3 times. This is one that I really enjoy, and it's looking like it's going to be worn a little bit less overall in relation to all my other fragrances once we get to the end of the year, but we'll see. You never know what the fall will bring, because I think this one works great in the autumn too. This is At the Barber's from Margiela. Beautiful barbershop scent. I do have a review of this which you can check out here. I go into depth about that, so I'm going to save the details. If you want to know more about this fragrance, then check out the review. Coming in at number 9, I wore this 4 times, and this is a relatively new fragrance to my collection, so for it to be worn 4 times in the past 3 months, that's a pretty big deal. And I think I've only had this for 3 months as well. This is Dior Eau Sauvage, the original EDT. I love this fragrance. Super classy, beautiful citrus aromatic with some woody nature. Lots of lemon, lots of oak moss. It's, again, fresh, citrusy, woody. It has a touch of vintage flair, which I love. A great fragrance to wear when you're feeling classy in the summertime. That is Eau Sauvage. Coming in at number 8, I also wore this 4 times. And the reason why this is ahead of Eau Sauvage is because I've actually worn it more recently. So that was the only reason why it's above it. Otherwise, I wore it the same amount. Valentina Aqua. Another relatively new fragrance to my collection. I love the scent, super light. A lot of people don't like it for that reason. The performance isn't great, but you spray heavy, you'll be okay. A really unique scent for the summer. Wonderful iris and mandarin orange. There's tomato in there, has this nice green nature to it. It dries down to some leather. It's a really interesting fragrance. If you want to smell different for the summer, this is the way to go. Valentina Aqua. At number 6, I wore this 5 times, and the next few fragrances you'll see I also wore 5 times, and yet again they will be ranked in order of how recently I've worn them. It's kind of arbitrary, but that was the best way I could do it. So coming in at my first 5-time wear, this is yet again the number 7 spot. We have Elysium from Raja Parfums. One of my favorite fragrances, super versatile. This topped my top 10 most versatile fragrances list. So easy to wear, fresh, clean, citrusy, aromatic, a little bit floral. It's woody. It has just a little bit of everything in there to please everyone, and it will do that. I don't know if anyone can truly dislike this fragrance, but it is great quality for being mass appealing. That is Elysium. At number 6, I wore this yet again 5 times, but a little bit more recently than Elysium. We have this beauty, one of my absolute favorites, which I was surprised that it's this low, L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. I thought I wore this a whole lot more this year, at least this summer. We'll see how it stacks up at the end of the year, but still wonderful scent to wear it 5 times. I'm cool with that. Wonderful grapefruit and almond and vetiver pink pepper. It's zingy and fresh, but it has a creamy nature to it. It's sweet as well, but it's light, really elegant, wonderful scent. Very unique in my opinion, but also along the lines of maybe your Chanel Allure Edition Blanche, which I don't own, but this one will do the trick for me. That is L'Homme Ideal Cologne from Guerlain. We're into the top 5. This is yet again one that I wore 5 times, but again, wore it more recently than the previous 2 that I also wore 5 times. Tommy for Men. I've been wearing this one pretty often. I think the last few times I've worn it has been pretty close together. Man, I love this scent. Not the highest quality, not all that unique, but it does have a factor to it that, again, appeals and resonates with me in terms of, you know, nostalgia. In my past, I've smelled this fragrance a lot growing up, so I have a special place in my heart for this. It's wonderful, citrus, aromatic, it's woody, super easy to wear, apple, mint, lavender, cactus, if you like cactus, it's in here. Alberto Marias created this one as well. That is Tommy for Men. At number 4, wore this 5 times as well. I was a little surprised to see it this low, even though I don't, you know, it's not that low, but I thought I wore it more in the past 3 months, but it's okay. 5 times is enough. Silver Mountain Water from Creed. This is my favorite fragrance from the house of Creed at the moment. It's so unique, and that's what I love about it. It's so different. There's really nothing that smells like this on the designer market or anything else on the niche market other than Mephisto. A lot of you guys commented on my Creed videos saying, oh yeah, Mephisto's so much better.
It's so much better. Have you smelled Mephisto? It's a lot better. It's so much better.
Honestly, I prefer Silver Mountain Water. Mephisto's nice. I have a decant of it, but this inky and metallic quality is something I actually like in the Silver Mountain Water, which you don't really get in Mephisto, but it's still a great scent, don't get me wrong, but I prefer this one. Silver Mountain Water. At number 3, really surprised by this one. I wore this 6 times this year. Acqua di Gio Absolute. I did not expect to have worn this so much in the past few months. And it just kind of tells about how easy it is to wear. This is a true dumb reach for me in my collection. It's aquatic, it's fresh, it's a kind of sweet and has a warmth to it. It's woody. It's a little fruity. It's just a lot of everything. It's very mass appealing. It's nothing too interesting. You know, when you spray it on, you're not like, oh wow, I just want to smell it around me. You just spray it on and you know you smell good and people around you will agree. That is Acqua di Gio Absolute. At number 2, this is a fragrance I knew would crack the top 5. I've worn it 7 times over the past several months, past 3 months, and I love it. I really like this scent. In fact, I think I wore it a little bit more than I thought I did, so that's nice. This is Royal Water. Yet again, one of my favorite Creed fragrances at the moment. I think it may have been number 2 on my list, I'm not sure. Oh man, it's one of the lesser talked about fragrances from the house. If you want to see a review, let me know down in the comments or by showing me a like on this video. That's a great way for me to know if you want to see Royal Water, so let me know. And at number 1, it's a fragrance that I don't really like to wear in the summer. It comes off too heavy for me, but I was really surprised. I think maybe I wore this during a lot of evenings when it wasn't so warm, and it works wonderfully. I wore this 8 times over the past 3 months from the house of Parfum de Marly. This is Layton, and I love this scent, obviously. Man, it is versatile. It's more versatile to me than I had anticipated it being. It can be worn all year round. I didn't think I'd wear it this much, but I've worn this the most out of any of my fragrances thus far. Geez, it's a beast, it's a monster, and it smells great. It's not anything super special. It's not really a niche fragrance, to be honest, to me. But it does have decent quality and it smells really good. It's undeniable how good this smells. It is pretty sweet, and I know a lot of people don't like it for that reason. If you're not crazy about sweet fragrances, then yeah, you wouldn't like this. But man, it speaks for itself. 8 times over all these other fragrances that I thought I wore more, but Layton wins the crown. So that's what I've been wearing this summer. What I'd love to know now, let me know one fragrance that you've been wearing the absolute most this summer. If it's summer where you live, obviously that applies to you. Regardless though, even if it is not summer where you are, if it hasn't been hot, then still tell me what's the one fragrance you've been wearing the most over the past 3 months. I would love to know. You know the deal. Let's have a conversation about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.